Well, welcome back to Actually Aubrey, and we've got quite the topic today. We're doing a special edition of He Says, She Says, and it's about, of course, Will Smith's slap that was heard across the world. Let's go ahead and bring in our special guest, Alex W. Leith.
What's up, y'all? What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Alex, what's going on with you?
Well, I know we were supposed to do put a ring on it tonight, but somebody showed out at the Oscars, so we have no choice but to do this.
Yeah, we're kind of called to do this because this has been quite the hot topic, and there's no getting around it. It's going to be talked about for a while to come because apparently, what I'm hearing today is that Will Smith is going to be talking about it only on the what is it, the Red Table Topics or whatever,
The
Red
Red
Table
Table
Talk.
Talk.
Red Table Talks. Yeah, I don't.
Mm,
As you can see, I don't really watch that.
mm.
Yeah, but he's going to be talking about it. He's going to be doing an exclusive interview on his own show. So, what a way to promote yourself. Okay, right?
Yeah, a calculated move. I don't blame him.
A calculated move. And let's get over here too, real quick, to the audience and see who's over here. Hey guys, we've got shout out to Condessa. Shout out to Condessa there, and oh my girl Maud. Hey Maud, how you doing? How you doing? Mr. Mita Joe, always in the building, in the house, loyal and faithful fam. All right. Uh, Maud Afro Mama says Lord with a T, and
Yeah.
uh,
Two
and
T's
then
at that.
two T's. And Maud also says he just offered an apology. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's good to hear. Thanks for adding that. And I want you to chime in on that part of it a little bit later because that's one of our questions. And but it's good to have everybody. Welcome on into the room. Welcome into the house, guys. We're going to have lots of questions that we want you to jump in, and we're probably going to drop the link too, so you guys can come on up and talk about it if you're ready. So get your StreamYards ready, guys, because the link will be dropped in a few more minutes. Okay. So getting back to, so what are your thoughts about what happened? What are your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, it shouldn't have happened. Number one. I will say from Chris Rock's perspective, he is a comedian, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
comedians' job always is to push the envelope for that laugh. And
Okay.
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's in good taste, sometimes it's in poor taste. Sometimes people have a lot of fun, whatever, right? But
Okay.
but
Okay.
but then there are those times like this where this is like a culmination of what's been going on in Will and Jada's public marriage for the last several years. Okay. And in those last several years, Will's been the brunt or the butt of a lot of these jokes and memes and everything, starting with the young boy August. Where they had the red table talk. Jada talked about it was an entanglement. She didn't want to come right out and say it wasn't a affair. Will comes out 2 weeks ago and say neither he nor Jada ever cheated on one another. These kind of things, and I'll just say this: that the way people want to conduct themselves in their marriage is their business. They should not have to explain themselves to anybody. But once you start making stuff public, you make yourself a target. And I think because now they're targets of all these different jokes and memes, and mainly Will's getting hit, his manhood kind of kicked in. You know, his
Mm.
chest kind of swelled up yesterday because basically he's tired of it. He picked the
Mm-hmm.
wrong forum. It's not the correct forum that he picked last night for a number of
Yeah.
reasons that we'll get into. But I think he felt like at that moment he needed to get up and defend his wife's honor at that moment and slap Chris Rock in his face. Now, had that been 50 Cent up there, I don't think Will would have did that. Okay.
Mm.
You know, if that's
That's
the
a question. We're gonna get into some questions about the differences of who was up there, and would Will still have made that same move if it had been a different person. But it's not 50 cents that I'm gonna be asking that about. But but it's a different person of a different persuasion
I
of
mean,
a
it could have
different.
been Dwayne
Mm.
Johnson. You know, if it was
It
Dwayne
could have been
Johnson,
a
he
lot of
wouldn't have did
people. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But I hear what you're saying. I guess my question though, my thought though too about that is, as a woman, okay, so a lot of people are looking at this from, okay, they're rich, they're celebrities, they're not supposed to. It almost as if a lot of the conversations I've heard throughout the night and even into today, that because you're rich and because you're a celebrity, you're not supposed to have any emotions. You're not supposed to have any feelings about what's said about you. I don't really agree with that. I don't really agree with that.
Okay, well, you don't agree, but what are your thoughts about the incident in itself? When you saw
Okay,
Will get up there,
I've got a list of things that we're going to go through. That's why I'm saying we're just kind of getting some preliminary initial thoughts out. So my thoughts will come out. I mean, there's a lot I have to say, but I'm going to wait till I get to the specific questions that will delve deeper into what my thoughts are, because I don't like it. Obviously, I don't like it. I think it's a bad look for both men. Personally,
wh-
I think it's a bad look for both men. It's a bad look for Chris, because as a black woman, I want to understand, when are we going to stop, we as black women, when are we going to stop being the butt of every comedian's joke? I don't see anybody joking about uh 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 what's her name, Jolie. I can't, my mind,
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie,
Thank you. Yeah, Angelina Jolie. I don't see anybody. I didn't see him last night. The joke right before that, he was joking about Penelope Cruz. He wasn't talking about her appearance. When are black women's appearance going to be off the board for you to just make a public joke at the Oscars? And I understand he's a comedian, but I also think it's a different kind of humor at the Oscars than if you're just lowball hanging out at the club or whatever. You know, you get what I'm saying? Or if you're at a specific comedy show. You're at the Oscars. This person makes her living based upon her looks. And whether he knew she had alopecia or not shouldn't make a difference. This is the same guy that wrote a book about good hair. Anyway, that's what I said. I was going to save that. So, because there's a
well,
whole lot of things I've got to say about Chris
well,
and about Will.
let me say this before you get your machine gun going. Okay.
My machine.
Um,
Oh yeah, and
with,
wait a minute.
oh
Well, no,
jeez,
no, hold on. Oh, and by the way, Miss Lady Friend, if you're listening in, or if you're in the chat, if you subscribe to my channel and you're in the chat, just so you know, you don't like how loud I talk, or you said I overtalk my guests and it was unladylike. I got something for you. So there.
listen, the woman's
You don't have to be over here. Just so you know, Miss Lady. Okay, you don't have to be
listen.
over here.
The woman's entitled to her opinion. Everybody
She's
ain't gonna love
she
you.
is entitled to her opinion, and as you saw, I left her a very nice message back and thanked her for her viewership.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but I tell you what, I give you one free one. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So if you're listening in, just know I'm from the D. Okay.
Miss Lady, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
I already
Everybody's
told
not
her that.
listen.
Don't be trying to coddle that lady. Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I'm getting excited. So yes, I'm loud. But my girl Felicia is in the building. Yay! Oh, where's my thing at? Oh, I am so tickled. I am so tickled.
and
And
she and she
I'm
and,
not
she, and
putting her business out in the streets because that's personal. But I'm gonna say she was one of our first viewers from the very beginning. So that's why I'm so excited. So thank you so much for being there.
wonderful. Now she's doing something you have no idea about. Felicia's actually doing the dishes, which I know you have no idea what that is. But so let me get to a point here I was trying to make.
Okay, and then we're going to get into the questions. I want to post them up so people can go along with us. They can read it up on the banner. So go ahead.
Okay. No, I just want to say that I don't agree with the forum in which Will chose to do this. And here's the reason why.
Yeah.
You talked a lot about, joking black women and mocking black women and doing these kind of things with black comedians. But it was the wrong forum for me, not so much with the joke, but the fact that Will Packer, a black producer, he does Ready to Love, one of the shows that we cover and
Oh yeah.
everything. you know, and so he had his
He
whole
also
crew.
did. He also did Jada Smith's movie, Girls Trip. He's done quite a bit of things, quite a
Right,
few
done quite
things.
a bit of stuff. So this is the
Hmm.
first time in Oscar history where you had, you know, black producers, black crew. You know, you had Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes doing the hosting. You had 3 women
Oh,
hosting,
that
and
was
just
awesome.
a lot of
Hmm.
historical moments going on. You know, you had a young Latino young lady win the Oscar for West Side Story. Will won for Best Actor for King Richard. Just a
Hmm.
lot of historical stuff going on, and you know, we had enough problems over the years being recognized at the Oscars as people of color. So now that we're coming in and we're being afforded the opportunities to produce it, direct it, win our awards that we rightly deserve, and all these things, you want to taint it by going up there and acting like you from the street, like you want to slap somebody in the face, another black man in the face on a public forum like that for the whole globe to see, not just the United States, the entire globe is watching, you know. So the forum is all wrong. Whether or not the slap was okay, he defending his wife, we could debate that, but it was definitely not the right forum.
Right, right, right. And I'm responding to Felicia here in the chat too. So go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, that's just what I want to say regarding that. You can get to your questions and we can go one by one right down the line. And another thing I want to say, Aubrey, which is very important.
I said
Oh,
keep talking.
oh,
Right. Okay.
okay, yeah. But it's very important. I don't know when you're going to jump in with your machine guns. So, so
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. But I
yeah,
want to respond to
I'm
her
sure it
comment.
is.
Go ahead. You
But
say,
the other thing you said that you kind of getting tired of, you know, black comedians, you know, joking black women and so forth. So I've been following comedy since, you know, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby. Right, I always follow comedians, always love comedians. And I'm gonna tell you, in the world of comedy, everybody gets it. Everybody, nobody's off limits. No,
I want to
no,
hear. I want to hear what were the jokes that he made about the funny looking white women in the audience. Okay.
he didn't do that
What was
last night.
He
But
he
listen,
never does it. He never does it. And he's hosted. And like you said, last night he was a presenter. He's hosted before. He never does it. So that's really interesting. That's what I'm saying. That's
and
really interesting.
equally the same. He's done live concert shows where he's talked about white people like you wouldn't believe. He does
I
it all the
don't
time.
care, but that's what I was just saying. Do you realize I'm talking about the difference between a live comedy show that's not broadcast anywhere? It's just
It is.
however many people that. Can I finish my thought? Okay, it might be. He may have one that he does for tape or for HBO, but for the most part, we're not talking about celebrities. We're not talking about actors or men or women who are known for their looks. We're just talking about regular schmegular Joe people, Joe Schmo like you and me. Okay, all right. I
I'm going. I'm
I
going to
can't.
find some footage for you.
I can't with you right now. I can't.
I'm going to find some
I
footage
can't.
for you where he's talking about famous people. All of them do it. So you know, I don't know where that's coming from, but I
Yeah,
understand.
because I'm telling you something. He can talk about them. What I'm saying is the difference is I can talk about somebody, okay, right? I can say, oh, he doesn't make as much, or this guy or that guy. First of all, men are the first people to talk about being emasculated. Here's the thing: a woman's looks and her beauty are tied to her femininity. So I'm saying that you're at the Oscars, you don't talk about Penelope Cruz, you don't talk about Liza Minnelli, you don't talk about any of the otherly different colored people there, but you picked a one black lady there that you see her hair short, but yet you're also the guy that produced a documentary called Good Hair because you said that you didn't want your daughters to feel any kind of other way or special because they got kinky hair or nappy hair, and because you know the history of hair in America and black women. That's what I'm talking about. People got to act like they actually know their history. Don't give me that crap that you don't know. Chris is a very intelligent man, very intelligent.
And I see the contradiction in that. But again, and you're right. I agree with you 100% regarding that. But again, comedians always push the envelope. That's just what they do. And people get offended. Look, they've said stuff about the gay community and gotten torn up. Look what happened to Dave Chappelle. You know, he wasn't even nasty about it. You can't. It depends on how sensitive people are to what you're saying. Now, what it is in this situation, yes, she's a black woman. Her hair is short. He pointed that out, but she's also dealing with a ailment or an illness or a condition, whatever. And you should not make fun of people's afflictions because you don't know how they feel about it. You don't know what they're going through at home. She could be in the corner of the closet crying about her hair. She
And
don't
I'm
have her
sure
hair.
she has cried because I've had
Right.
friends. I've never had alopecia, but any of us out there, you don't even have to have alopecia. You can get to a certain age. Women and men get to a certain age, and as your hormonal level changes in midlife, a lot of times, many people, male and female, will start to lose their hair. Many people lose their hair because of medications they have to take to keep living, for diabetes, for blood pressure. You have to take these medications. So what do? You pick between having a full head of hair and living to see another 10 years to see your grandchildren or your children grow up. Many people lose their hair for various reasons. I'm just saying it's just real funny that Chris is always talking about Black women's appearance. So do you love us or not, Chris? This is what I want to say. And I'm not condoning, like I said, there's fault on both sides. I'm not condoning Will Smith hitting somebody over this either. I think you're right. He absolutely could have handled this in a much better way.
See, if that's me, and I'm sitting across with my wife right there, and I hear a joke that's distasteful, and I understand the entire scope of the evening. As I said, Will Packer production, Tyler Perry there, Denzel, Sam Jackson, all this is going on when we were not included just a few years ago. So in understanding the scope, I would have leaned over to my wife and said, I'll talk to him backstage. Don't worry about it, babe. I got it. We're gonna handle this backstage. But I'm not doing it in front of the whole audience and millions of people that's out there in television land watching this thing.
Absolutely. I want to go ahead. We're going to get started on the question. Okay, Pandy saying right, that part right there. I don't know if you agreeing with old boy over here, Alex, or you agreeing with me. I'm assuming you're agreeing.
He agreeing with me.
Since you're my friend, Pandy, okay, I'm assuming you're agreeing with me. And no, yeah, especially in front of all those people. Tyrone says, yeah, comedians are known for pushing the envelope. I get that. I totally get that. Okay, so let's get started with the question. The question that's on the table right now is this. Was what happened last night, do you believe what happened last night a culmination of bad blood between Will Smith and Chris Rock? And if so, what caused this bad blood?
Well, I'll start. The culmination was the fact that their marriage has been open and on Front Street for the last several years, and Will's been the brunt of all these jokes and memes and everything. And after a while, your manhood starts to take a hit. Okay, now whether they got an open marriage, whether they swingers, whether they allowed August or Senior and the come into their bed as a group or whatever, that's their business. But once you make it public and you allow people into your bedroom, this is what's going to happen. You just let the floodgates open up. So this is a culmination of that. Now they do have a bad history with Chris Rock and the Oscars because he did this in 2016 when he made a joke about Jada not being invited because they were boycotting then. And that's what I mean.
They were boycotting the all white Oscars, and then that was a thing that year. A lot of Black actors and some white actors, some Caucasian actors, I should say, boycotted the Oscars that year. That's right.
Right.
And then of course, Chris, interestingly enough, Chris Rock was selected to do the hosting. Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then he made a comment about Jada not being invited, so forth and so on. And she decided to boycott. And again, this was just 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, so we're just starting to be included the way we needed to be included. That's why I disagree with the forum in which Will did it. And he also too, he kind of tainted, you up there representing, Richard and Serena and both of them. The other name is Serena and Venus. You represent their father, Richard. All this stuff going on.
It's a lot. But I'm gonna tell you something. To this. So while we're on this, I'm gonna tell you something. What I'm not doing any longer, and I've determined not to do this a while back, and I'm gonna share this, and people can feel how they feel and think how they think, but this is me. Um, I'm no longer taking on the burden for the entire black race. So when my brother goes out and does something, and I say my brother or my sister, somebody of the African American diaspora, I'm no longer taking on what they do, because guess what? I want to know how many Caucasian people take on. What was the gentleman's name? Was it Kyle Rittenhouse that just killed a bunch of people not too long ago and cried those fake tears in court and got off? How
Yeah, that
many
young, that young boy. Yeah.
young man, yeah, boy, you're right, I'm sorry, how many people, how many Caucasian people, raise your hand if you know how many Caucasian people took that on into their spirit, into their soul, that bothered them because they're also Caucasian. So what I'm not doing in 2022, I'm not taking on what Will Smith did as representation for a whole entire race, billions of black people across the world, across the universe. I'm not taking that on. So while it's sad that he did it, I'm not taking it on. And I'm gonna tell you something, because to me, that's something that's brought up through and continued through slavery. I'm not doing it. So that's where my mind is open to that.
Yeah, and since you brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, they may not have openly like went to sit outside the courthouse and support him, but they know they didn't have to do that. They knew they were going to free him, so
Oh yeah. Well, I
they
mean,
didn't have to do that.
I see where you're right. I see where there's that tribalism. Whether you're Hispanic, whether you're Asian, whether you're black, whether you're Caucasian, I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying, I'm freeing myself up. I'm freeing my bandwidth up to worry about more personal things going on in my own personal life and in my community right here. I can
Yeah,
care about the world, but I don't have to be weighed down by it. That's all I'm saying.
and I
That's
agree
all
with you
I'm saying.
because I
I'm
agree with
I'm
you
I'm
because
not doing it.
they got this thing that these young black kids and Latino kids too. I'm from New York, but in a lot of big cities now they got these little games these kids play called the knockout game, where they just run up on elderly folk and knock them out in the street and all this kind of stupid stuff, and you get caught and go to jail and you want support. I'm not standing by that. I have nothing to do with that. If you want to go start a law firm or something, or buy a house or start a business, I support black people that's doing that kind of stuff. But don't go out here doing stupid stuff like knocking old people out and kicking people on the
And,
tracks of the
and
trains and all kind of stuff.
understand, it's not a question, it's not an argument or a debate about supporting and what I'm not supporting him, but what I said was I'm not taking it on. You get what I'm saying? There's a
Right,
difference.
right. Yeah, I'm not.
In other words, I'm going to remain neutral. I'm not taking it on. But
Listen, there are many battles in the war. We have to pick and choose what battle, what front we're going to be on, or be on no front. But there are many battles to fight. Everybody can't do the same thing. Everybody can't be Louis Farrakhan. Everybody can't be Al Sharpton or whatever your position is. Everybody can't be Barack Obama. But pick a front. If you care for humanity and you care for people, pick a front and fight that fight. Because there's so many fights out here to be had.
okay, so the next question is here. Okay, let me get this up. Excuse me. Um What do you think Will Smith could have done instead to protect his wife Jada and her feelings? What do you think he could have done? Okay, so I think you mentioned a minute ago, if that were you and years ago you're in a marriage and this is your wife, what would you have done?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would have, leaned over, told my wife, said, "Listen, I'm gonna get him backstage. I'm gonna take care of it, babe. Don't worry. Right here in the open." Yeah, and then they would it would have been a brawl backstage, but it would have been off camera, out of sight of the audience, or whatever. But I'm going to handle it if she was really hurt by it. You know what I mean? So
I like a portion of what you're saying. I think what you're saying, I'm going to say it this way. So I was watching another content creator. Shout out to Cameshia, who's also out here today, one of our viewers. I was watching another content creator, and I love what someone that called in on their StreamYard. Which, by the way, guys, I almost forgot, but I just put the link in. So come on up if you're ready and you got something to say, and you got something to say that's really been itching at you. I like what this person said. They said basically, look, My husband of 40 years, 40 plus years, what he said he would have done was he would have met him back behind stage. So when he finished presenting, he would have said, "Do you realize that you hurt my wife's feelings and that, she has this alopecia or whatever the reason was or whatever, and you really hurt her feelings, and was that was really wasn't necessary." And he said that, now Chris had two choices. He could have said, "Well, hey man, I'm really sorry. No, I didn't realize that. It was just a joke, blah, blah, blah," and could have stepped away from it gracefully, or he could have doubled down like comedians and sometimes men do when they trying to be so uber macho, and he could have doubled down in it. And then if he had doubled down in it, then he would have knocked them, he would have knocked them out.
Right, right. And that's the thing. You go to him like a man. Listen, what you did was messed up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think you need to apologize. I would have insisted. You need to apologize to my wife. Otherwise, it's going to be me and you because she's hurt.
I,
You know what
I
I mean?
gotta I gotta address something. Okay, so Amelia, I hear you out here. You saying words are win, but blows are unkind. Let me tell you something. Again, I don't agree with what Chris did. I mean, I'm sorry, with what Will Smith did to Chris in that venue. I like the answer that I just gave, that I told you, that a woman said that her husband of 40 years, how he would have handled it. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's some words you can't say to me, and I'm not even a violent person. I'm not a violent person at all, but there are some words you cannot say to me. I was at work years ago on an auto show, at the auto show, and a Caucasian young lady who was really besides herself and didn't understand what was going on got offended that I was promoted. But what she didn't know was that I had taken a lesser job because I came in late to the audition. So I was doing what she did. She didn't understand how I got to be up on the turntable and become a spokesperson for a major automotive brand, but that's what I do. She didn't know that. So she was about to call me the N word. And I politely told her on my birthday, on February 15th, there in Chicago, in McCormick Place Center, one of the largest exhibition halls in the United States of America, go ahead and say it, and I will knock you on your arse. Go ahead and say it. Because what you're not going to do is call me the N word to my face. So, yeah, words are win. You can say that all you want, but all words aren't acceptable to all people. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, this sticks and stones thing. I mean, words do hurt, depending on what the words are. My brother has a saying, my older brother Ricky, and he always says, "Don't say something you can't take back," because some things just sting. Okay, it's like if you had a child that
Some
passed
words,
away.
some words are violent. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that.
some words are
I'm gonna say
violent.
that. Some words are
So
violent, and they're meant to be violent. Go ahead.
in any event, let's say you had a child that has passed away,
Hmm.
right? So now you get into an argument with somebody and they say, "That's because you stupid, you dumb," and what. So you can handle that, okay? But as soon as they say, "That's why your child dead, that's good for you because they dead,"
Oh
how do
no,
you how do you
that's not
not?
gonna fly either.
That's not gonna fly. Somebody now you got to die now. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just words there. You done hit a nerve and you can't take that back. There's no such thing as he just said that because he was drunk. Oh, he didn't realize what he was saying. No, there's none of that. You can't take it back now. Because what comes out of your mouth is in your heart. You see what I'm saying? So once
Right.
you say something like that, that's it. We brawling. It's on. So words do hurt. I mean, a slap or a punch hurts as well, but we can't underestimate the
The
hurtfulness
power
of
of
some words,
word.
the power
Well,
of
well, the
words.
Bible. Well, I'm going to say this too, from a higher authority. The Bible speaks about the power of life and death is in the tongue. So if the Bible says that, I'm gonna go with what the Bible says. That's just me, but I'm a believer. Um, the next question, what I want us to address: would Will have hit someone like Adam Sandler? This was sent in by one of our viewers and also one of our faithful supporters, Tiger. Tiger has been supporting this podcast since the very beginning.
I don't think Will hits a white person.
That's exactly what that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That comment right there,
I
a
mean,
Caucasian person. You're
ain't
exactly
ain't
right.
ain't no
But
way around that. He doesn't hit a white person because if he hits a white person, he's going to get the Cosby treatment. He's going to get the R. Kelly treatment. He's going to get the Michael Jackson treatment.
well,
Listen,
not only does he not hit a Caucasian person, but this is where I'm going to double down on this one myself. I say that a Caucasian person at the Oscars is not going to say that joke. How about that? Which
You
brings me
probably
to
right
another
there.
which brings me to thank you. Which brings me to another interesting point today while I was strolling on these YouTube streets. I saw where, and whether it's true or not, so I say allegedly, that it was reported that Chris Rock said allegedly that joke, he didn't even write that joke. And then I got to thinking about that. I said, yeah, a lot of my friends, I got a couple of friends that are professional comedians, and they don't always write their own jokes. But again, I say, I think about that and I say, okay, you may not have wrote it. I don't know the complexion of the person that did write it, but you, as an intelligent person, you sat there and you said it. Because I remember, if you remember years ago, there was a broadcast on SNL, and it was Eddie Murphy, and they were talking about Bill Cosby before Bill Cosby's conviction, right? And Eddie Murphy would not do the skit. He would not do the skit because he said, you know what? I'm not doing it. Now, the writers, the comedic writers wrote the lines, but he said, I won't be doing it that way. And he would not do those lines that he found offensive to his friend. So
Right.
I say, yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't think Adam Sandler would have sat there and said GI Joe, GI Jane to Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't believe he would have said that.
And also too, it would have been a very conscious decision for Will to say, if I get up there and hit Adam Sandler, if I get up there and hit, if I get up there and hit
I
Jerry,
know I'm going to prison.
what,
Because
what?
why? And why is that? Because why? Because people put a higher value on certain other people in our society.
Yeah, if he go up there and hit Jerry Seinfeld, he know his career is in jeopardy. Okay, period. It's not even a
Mm-hmm.
matter of him going to jail and being sued. His career is now in jeopardy. See, his career is not in jeopardy for hitting Chris Rock.
Okay. Amelia. Amelia, again, I see you said you don't know what a Caucasian person would have said. Who said I knew what a Caucasian person would have said? I said I don't think that Adam Sandler would have taken that pot shot at a black woman. Okay. Now, you can stay in here because apparently you subscribe. But if you got a problem with what I'm saying, then just unsubscribe, okay? All right? Thank you. Continuing
Listen,
on.
listen. Everybody got differences of opinion. She don't have to agree with you.
She doesn't have to. No, she doesn't. But you don't see the comments that she's been throwing back and forth. But you're right. I don't say she has to agree with me. But what you're not going to do is put words in my mouth. I didn't say I knew what every Caucasian person thinks. We're talking about Adam Sandler, who I'm very familiar. I'm more familiar with Adam Sandler's comedy than I am with Chris Rock's, by the way. Thank you very much. I didn't say I knew that he wouldn't do or he wouldn't say this or that, but I doubt it. And there's
Well,
a reason. And there's a reason, Amelia. So in case you missed out on the last 200 years in America, and maybe you're not even American. I don't even know. Okay. But we're not talking about that right now. I'm having a conversation with my co-host over here, Alex. Okay. Now you got a lot to say. I tell you what, why don't you I'm gonna put it in here again. Why don't you pick up this what I'm dropping down here and come up and say it? Okay? Because I'm not scared.
as we
I
would
ain't
say
never
back,
scared.
as we would say back in the street, come on here and pick up what I'm putting down, baby. Pick up what I'm putting down, baby. We would say that back in the
Mm-hmm.
70s. That's old school stuff. But
Oh, okay.
we, we
Okay.
we know from a
You're
political
right. We
we know
absolutely
from
do
a,
have different views, Amelia. We
we
absolutely do.
we know from a political standpoint, from a business standpoint, from a historical perspective, that Will is not going to hit a white guy at the Oscars. It's just not going to happen because that's almost career suicide, even for Will Smith. Because if they can destroy Cosby, they can destroy Will Smith. Okay, it's just as simple as that. So he felt like, okay, I can get him and do this to Chris Rock because my career won't be in jeopardy. I don't believe either that a white comedian would have made a comment about Jada Pinkett. I don't believe that. Now, maybe they would have. We'll never know that. But I don't believe they would have either. I think we're more comfortable as a group clowning each other. And I say that because where I grew up in Brooklyn, every night in the summer times when the weather was nice, we would stand on the corners. It'd be like 12, 15 of us. clowning each other, talking about each other's mama, grandmama, this, the clothes we wore with raggedy. All night we clown until 2, 3 in the morning. That's what we did.
Well,
So
yeah,
as a community, we come very comfortable with clowning each other. You know,
and
men,
that's
women,
what
it
I'm
didn't
saying
matter.
about Chris Rock. Okay, I see where the tie-in is. Okay, it took me a second. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you on that, and that's kind of where I get that from Chris Rock, because he's clowning us, but he ain't clowning other people. But okay, but all right. Moving on. We covered the Chris Rock, so the next one. Okay, we kind of covered this too. The next one would have been this one, which I kind of combined it. Would a non-black comic would have demeaned a black woman at the Oscars in 2022? I think we
Yeah,
kind of
we just
covered
talked
that.
about that.
Yeah, right,
Mhm.
right. Okay, so I have to go, but I have to see what's in front of me. Okay. Okay, this question. Did the incident, that one incident, did it overshadow the entire event?
No, no, it
That's
didn't.
what
It
I
didn't
say.
overshadow.
That's what I
No,
say. That's why I say,
no, it would.
I'm not going to be caught up in some kind of emotion about it because I'm black and he's black. So no, it didn't, because I got a chance. Actually, let me just say this. Actually, what it did do, I'm gonna say this. I used to be a very loyal watcher of the Oscars for many, many years, for decades, and then the last probably 7 or 8 years turned off to it. That whole "is so white" thing too. I turned off to it. Got tired of them never acknowledging the talent that was out there in the films that were done, and overlooking black people, brown people, people of color, right, and differently able people, right. So I got turned off to it. So actually, what this incident did, I have to say, because I think it was you that contacted me last night, it made me watch it. It made me go back and watch it. It made me watch the opening with Beyonce singing the song that's in the movie. What is it? King Richard.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
that 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 Will Smith actually won the award for last night. It made me go back and watch and see all these beautiful movies of people that are different. West Side Story I wanted to see anyway. There's about 3 or 4 movies that I found out that I wanted to see because I wasn't watching the Oscars. So that's what the incident did for me. But go ahead, you tell me what it did for you.
Yeah, the incident didn't overshadow the event at all. It was a great event. It was a historical event. I had a lot of historical context. That was a blemish on an otherwise fabulous evening. That's how I look at it. It was a blemish. Okay. To Will's credit, he apologized to the Academy or whatever. He didn't apologize to Chris. I'm not sure if he did that today or not, as he slept and thought about it or whatever. I don't know, but he apologized to the Academy. He apologized to the Williams sisters and their family for doing that on this special night. He was crying, blowing out snot bubbles and all this other kind of stuff. So, but he didn't apologize to Chris Rock. But other than that, it was a great evening. I enjoyed seeing Sam Jackson and Denzel get together with Tyler Perry and mentoring Will Smith and calming him down, and that whole brotherhood with Will Packer doing the show, and Wanda Sykes with Regina Hall and Amy Schumer. They had their feminine camaraderie going on there, and it was an otherwise great evening. So for me, it was just a little blemish on an otherwise great evening. It's like seeing a little piece of dog poop in fresh snow. You know what I'm saying? When you got
Right,
when you
right.
got a brand new snowy day, it looks so beautiful. And you say, I'm going out in the snow and make some snow angels or whatever. And you go out there, you see a tiny
I
piece of
gotta
dog poop,
right.
you know?
I want to just kind of move to the next question. I want to ask you something. So because this is something that has really been being speculated. Okay. Was this thing, are we all being played? Was this thing staged for just to say one of the maybe the reason that I just said that it turned a lot of people on that weren't even watching the dang on Oscars? Who the heck even cares? They weren't even on for 2 years due to the pandemic. Who the heck even cares? But do you think it's a possibility that this whole thing could have been staged? And what do you viewers, what do you guys think out there? Do you think that this was staged? Because a lot of people are saying that they saw it from a whole different angle. What are you guys thoughts about that? Are we all being played, and was this thing staged? And maybe Will and Chris were in on it.
Well, they are professional actors, for one thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But let me say this. I think Chris's reaction after the fact is what made me believe it was real, because I thought it was fake too. I said, these guys up here clowning and joking around. What's going on up here? Acting like he slapped him or whatever the case was. But when I saw Chris's reaction, because if you look closely, Chris flinched like he wanted to come back at Will real quick. If you look at, he had a quick flinch. Then he put his hand back behind his back because he was presenting an award. So he had the envelope. He had the envelope in his hand. Okay. Then when I looked at Jada's expression after Chris told the joke, then you look at the audience's expression once the slap took place. You start to sense, okay, maybe this is
what
not.
about Lupita's expression? Did you see Lupita when he sat back down in his
seat? The Lupita sitting right behind him. She's like, "Oh my God!" And that's the other thing, Aubrey. When he sat down, now this is a live broadcast. Like you said, this is the Oscars, the biggest event in film history that's going on here, right? He sat there on public television and threw some F-bombs. Okay, you could edit that out at that time. So, I that's what made me say, okay, this is probably more real than we think it is.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was definitely real too. But I had to, because you realize, and I'm sure you've heard it too, right? That people were saying it may be a stage. So I had to include that as one of the questions. What are you guys thinking out here? Because there's somebody else. Wait a minute, hold on, because I'm just doing too many things at one time. Okay, and so Amelia and I are actually getting on the same agreement page here. She's saying that and a couple of people, what they're saying. Amelia says it was real. I agree with her. Miss Demita Joe brings up a very good point. Miss Demita Joe says if it was staged, that still makes Jada the butt of the joke. I agree, Demita. That's a very good point.
I didn't think about that. Great point, Demita.
And then one of our longtime loyal supporters, Felicia, says, I'm dating myself, but the Academy Awards lost its credibility when the late, great Curtis Mayfield was not nominated for the Great Superfly soundtrack. Girl, see, I'm trying to tell you.
You definitely dating yourself.
That's all right, but hey, you can't see me. But right now, I'm doing that eyeball to eyeball, Felicia. We are sisters from another mother. Okay, all right.
And that's why I'm gonna tell you.
We're not gonna even talk about how the color purple. We're not gonna even talk about the year that the color purple came out. How it was dissed. We ain't gonna even talk about that.
We're not gonna even talk.
Or Malcolm X. We ain't gonna even talk about it. We ain't gonna even talk about it.
Yeah, Denzel should have got for Malcolm X, but he turned around and get it for Training Day.
About it. Like I said, so I go way back with the Oscars. I don't have a problem. I listen to rock, pop, R&B, soul, and gospel. Okay, I am very eclectic. My father brought me up that way. My father brought me up to be very open-minded. So it's not about like I'm anti-Caucasian or anything. But what you're not going to do is play in front of my face when I see talent, and I see talent that's superlative to other talent, even though that other talent is good. You're not going to tell me that the reason why this person and these people did not get acknowledged for their hard work and their efforts doesn't have a little bit to do with that skin color. That's what people are not going to do. Okay. In 2022.
And let me make a great point while we're on this 70s soundtrack. Superfly, there was Shaft, there was a bunch of other great movies and great actors during that time. And what a lot of people in the chat may not understand is during the 70s we had this blaxploitation film era, as they like to call it. I don't like that term, okay, because I enjoy seeing the black actors working, the directors, Pam Grier and Cleopatra Jones.
We're actually talking about. I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but I have to say, for those of our viewers that don't know this, Alex W. Lee is actually an award-winning filmmaker.
Yes,
he is actually a filmmaker, so he's very knowledgeable. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Thank you for that. But in around 1970, 71, Hollywood was bankrupt. Okay, and they had to figure out how to get out of this trouble. So they figured out there's a black market that they hadn't tapped into. The black people, the African American market. Oh, we haven't tapped into that. We can get that money. Okay, so they started making these black films or funding these black movies all throughout the 70s. Right, great era for black film. Some movies were bad, but some were good, like everything else. Right. So we get through the 70s with all these great black movies. Black actors are working and living good. It's a wonderful time. Then we get to 78, 79. Hollywood recovers. And you know what they say? Thanks, black people. Goodbye. And left us hanging.
That sound about right.
Okay. And then all through the 80s, whatever, we didn't see anything regarding black people until Spike Lee kicked the door down where She's Gotta Have It Again. And that was such a low budget. It was successful because we made a concerted effort to go out and support Spike Lee. But all through the 70s, those black films, Foxy Brown, Cleopatra Jones,
I always
Coffee,
wonder what
Shaft,
happened
whatever.
to those, because that's part of my childhood, all the movies you're talking about. And don't leave out the movie with Diane Carroll. What was that? With
Claudine.
Diane Carroll and
Claudine.
Oh my guys, if you have not seen Claudine or if you haven't seen it in a minute, I'm telling you, it's just as good. That film aged so well. Okay.
Yep.
That film aged so well. Go see Claudine. Go. I mean, you know, now you can stream it. You can stream it. Yeah.
So, so metaphorically, Aubrey, you talk about a slap in the face. For 8 or 9 years, we saved Hollywood out of bankruptcy. And once they got out of bankruptcy, they said, screw you, N-words. We're going over here now and start making our movies again with the money we got from y'all. So that's a metaphoric slap in the face.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I've got, I think, maybe one more question. I'm asking, Confessions, you're out there. I see you out there, girl. I see you chatting with me. Okay, so come on up and tell me about that, what you're saying. And I've already invited Amelia. You're still welcome to come up too. Anyone that wants to come up and share final thoughts. Let me see. My question, the banner was, are we being played if this is being staged? And okay, so final question of the evening, guys, on this topic, and we probably will end up coming back soon to do another because there's going to be continuing coverage and footage. Oh, and by the way, as many people in the chat have mentioned, it's true that Chris Rock has publicly apologized to Jada and to the family. So there's that. There's that. So this final question of the evening, guys, on this topic, on He Says, She Says with Aubrey and Alex. Finally, who gets the Oscars MVP last night for, with that whole setup, with that whole incident is what I'm talking about. Alex, have you thought about it? Because it's a question I usually ask on Ready to Love. Who's the MVP? Because I got an idea who I think is the MVP, but
yeah, I'm going to stick with the trio of women that were hosting. Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and
oh, they were good.
What's the young lady's name? The white young lady. I just know Amy Schumer.
Schumer, yeah.
Amy Schumer. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go with them because they did a great job in that. Chris Rock did a great job maintaining his composure in that incident.
Yes, I'll give him that. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. So I really don't think it was staged. So I think that is a special talent and a gift. But he's been in the business for umpteen years. Doesn't make it right again. I don't agree. I don't condone violence in that like that. But he did an excellent job at holding. As I like to say, he held his frame. He definitely, as a man, he held his frame.
But I'm definitely going to say the three women who hosted, they kind of get the MVP collectively. They held it together.
Okay, I love this because I hadn't even really thought about it, but you're right, Sheila. Jada kind of, so you're looking at it. I get where you're looking at it from an overall viewpoint of the whole Oscar. I was actually kind of asking it about in relationship to this incident, since that's what this whole podcast was about tonight. So I like what Sheila says is that Jada and Sheila, if you want to come up and put in some final thoughts, go ahead and catch that link right there. You're right. Exactly. I was talking about the incident, but Alex, he kind of took it a different way. So that's fine. And Amelia agrees. You know what? See there. Look at that. I'm sorry. I'm talking loud, but you have to understand when you have these headphones on, it's a whole thing to make sure that everybody hears you. And let's say this too. Everybody doesn't have the same amount of hearing. Okay. There are people that have challenges with hearing. So I never want to speak so soft that someone who's viewing and listening to this is like, wow, I can't even hear because she's whispering. So,
to speak directly.
A good friend of guys dropped in. Okay, Andrew White says, and this is former law enforcement. I hope you don't mind me telling people out there what you did. He has a very esteemed career in law enforcement in at least 2 states, and also served in our United States military. And he says it's Chris Rock. So that's interesting. Law enforcement
Well,
saying that it's
I,
Chris Rock. Yeah.
I agree with him, and so I think the way Chris Rock held it together after being assaulted, that's the MVP to me.
Yes. Okay. So now here's my final thought on it. I'm gonna say this. So I got to give my MVP to a lady, and then I'm gonna give it to 2 gentlemen, and I'm gonna say it's Lupita. Because I don't know, I watched the film clip over and over again, and Will Smith ranting and dropping F-bombs all over the place. Take my wife's name out your effing mouth. Keep it out your effing mouth. Okay. I know that's loud, but I'm doing it for emphasis, because this is what you guys didn't hear. Some people got the bleeped version, depending on where you were in the country and in the world. You got the bleep version. For those of us, because when I first saw it, it was bleeped all the way out. But Chris was kind of going back and forth, trying to say it was just a joke. But on the other hand, when Will sat down after he slapped Chris, he said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." He said that twice. Okay. And on the other side, what you see is a beautiful, very composed Lupita, the African princess. And she was so composed. I think if you watch her facial expressions, because you can see some changes on her face, but she kept so much composure, that that it's real. That's why I feel who in the house? What? Popo? That Popo. Sheila, don't scare me. I thought it was Paul was in the house.
You really thought it was Paul? Really?
I thought it was POJ. I said, wow, this ain't even a Ready to Love broadcast, guys. But anyway, wait a minute. Amelia. No wonder we clashing, Amelia. Amelia said she's in law enforcement too. Okay, babe. I appreciate.
You got.
I guess I better check myself next time, huh?
Yeah. These 2 alpha females. She's in law enforcement.
Are you calling me an alpha female, sir?
I sure is.
I've heard that a time or 2 before, and I don't back down from it. I don't shy down from it. But if I'm wrong, I don't have a problem admitting when it's been shown to me. I try to keep an open mind. And like I was trying to explain to Amelia, I wasn't intending to sound hostile. But what I'm very passionate about my viewpoints. I'm very passionate.
There you go. That's the right word.
And like I said too, the microphone and the headsets that we have to wear to do these podcasts, it's a whole thing, okay? And I'm new to this, okay? So give me some grace, and I'll show you some grace. But I really have enjoyed you. We went back and forth, and I know that everybody don't have to agree with me. I get that, because this guy over here, Alex, is telling me that all the time. All the time, he tells me that.
Yeah. We go at it.
Yeah, we do. Oh, it's his birthday month, by the way, guys. So, did you have a little spiel you wanted to say about your birthday month or anything like that before I got up?
Yeah, absolutely. I want everybody who got friends and family who are in this chat as a birthday gift to me. Please subscribe. Get on your family and friends, share the videos, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And it'll make us feel very good, and we're very appreciative to that stuff. And I enjoyed my birthday last week. I enjoyed it. So yeah, but do that for us.
Amen. We're going to end. I want to thank you all. I want to thank each and every one of you that came out that were here to view the video, that participated in the chat, and those people that I know are always in the bushes, just like, they stalk them bushes real tight. That's fine too, because you still giving us views. We appreciate that. Who's an Aries? Oh, Demeter, you're not an Aries, are you?
I'm a Pisces, so
he missed the good stuff by a few days or something like that. I don't know. He missed the good stuff.
Yeah, my birthday is the 18th. I think Aries start on the 20th or the 21st.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You missed it by a few days, because my son, whose birthday is coming up next month on the 12th, is an Aries. My father was an Aries, born on April Fool's Day, April 1st. So there's that. But we're still celebrating. You know how we do. How you celebrate your birthday all month long. You know how you just do that thing.
That's it. All month long.
True thing, Amelia. Yeah, Will was laughing. He was laughing at first until he looked over and saw the wife. He was not laughing.
That's it.
Thank
She
you,
looked at
Felicia.
she
Thank
looked
you.
at him like, ain't you going to do something? You know, so and once she gave him that look, he got up. He had to do something. So yeah.
Mr. Mita Joe, she's celebrating her birthday tomorrow. That's why she thought you might have been an Aries, because she's an Aries. Okay, all right. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm gonna hit her on Instagram. Yeah, I'm gonna hit her on Instagram. I hit you on Instagram, Mr. Mita Joe, for your birthday.
There's something I want to end with, and I kind of hit on this chat. Somebody in the chat, Felicia, put this up, and we're going to end on this. We're going to end on this note. We must together aggressively pursue peace. It starts with being at peace with yourself. And I'm going to say amen to that. I want to thank you guys once again for being here. I want to thank you for subscribing, sharing out the video, liking it if you haven't already, liking the video. Where's that thing at? Boy, these controls, I tell you. One day I'm going to be a pro at this like Cameshia, right? One day I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a pro like Cameshia, but right now I'm still struggling. Hold on. It's here. Hold on. I see I got to delete some stuff too. That's part of the problem. Video clip. Hold on. Hold that thought, Alex. Okay.
Yeah, I knew what was coming. That's what I said.
my slow self. Yeah. Okay. I see. Wait. We got a few more comments in here, and we're gonna get these out the way, and we're gonna sign off for the night. What you guys saying in this chat comment? I gotta go. This computer. Somebody. My Cash App is up there. Is at the bottom of the screen. Somebody love me enough to send me some money so I can start working on that. The new laptop that I need to keep up with all this. This is a powerful streaming system, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. With that, we're out. We don't want to keep you too long, but thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining us tonight in the chat. If you came in late, you can always hit the video and catch it in replay. Thank you guys in the replay gang, and those of you in the replay gang, be sure to leave a comment and tell us about what your thoughts were about last night and the episode. Okay. All right.
Love you.
Thank you very much. Love you guys. We're out.